Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Report right here on Clubhouse Lounge Radio, getting you ready for the weekend, and what a big weekend in sports it is. We've got the Masters starting today. We've got Major League Baseball starting today. We got your NFL news, some NBA, all around the sports world right here from the Clubhouse Lounge in Monticello, Illinois on Clubhouse Lounge Radio. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Let's start off, though, with the biggest story of the week, in my eyes anyway. That's all that matters sometimes is my eyes. Tiger Woods showed up at Augusta National this week, played a practice round, and in Tiger's own words said, and I quote, "I don't show up to an event unless I think I can win it." Well, congratulations, Tiger. If you play well, we all think you can win your sixth, which would tie Jack Nicklaus for the most ever Masters wins. Tiger has been very adamant about wanting, I think, to catch that. This will be his first event since 2020. And if Tiger plays well, he knows Augusta National like the back of his hand. Let's be honest, Tiger plays pretty well no matter what at Augusta National and the Masters. That'll start Thursday morning. He tees off at 9:34 a.m. Central Standard Time, and he will play with Luis Oosthuizen and Joaquin Niemann at 9:34. So that's the pairings. You can find all the pairings at Masters.com as well. So you can see that. But the five-time winner, Tiger said he's playing well, feels good, and I'm excited to see him play. It brings a new aura, a new excitement to the Masters that we haven't seen in a couple of years since he won back in 2019. The one thing that I looked at when I was looking at things up, by the way, he's the last man to repeat back in 2001, 2002. So last year's winner has not a good chance of winning. There's been 9 straight years of a new Masters champ every year. 7 golfers, the top 7 golfers ranked in the world have not won a Masters. So it's interesting, and the top player in the world hasn't won a major. Let's be honest here. I think you need to win a major to be number 1 in the world. Just my thoughts. Sometimes my thoughts don't matter, but my thoughts today do. So Tiger has a goal. Goals are good. Fred Couple said he's hitting his driver very, very well, very long, very straight. If Tiger hits the driver well and putts well, it could be a long weekend for the rest of the competition at the Masters. And, I personally will be watching that Thursday and Friday. It's available on ESPN. We'll have the coverage on TV. Then on Saturday and Sunday, CBS will have the coverage. I'm sure ratings will be through the roof with Tiger playing. It just seems like everybody tunes in and watches, even if just for a little bit, when Tiger is playing. So excited to see that. Excited to see Tiger go after the 6th to tie Nicklaus. And really looking forward to a great Masters weekend. Of course, it's my birthday weekend. And tomorrow is my birthday, so always enjoy that. And if Tiger can win, that's icing on the cake. So I hope you tune in. I hope we can see Tiger play well and continue what he's been doing for the last 20-plus years. It's amazing, really, what he's done to come back from where he's came from to do that. And, I've got my notes here and everything, but Tiger is a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal person. And just watching him with Charlie the last couple, it was 2 months ago or so, was pretty awesome. So looking forward to that. I hope you are too. A lot of guys in there teeing off early on Thursday morning. Vijay Singh, one of my personal favorites. Mike Weir is playing there too as well. So it should be interesting to see what some of these guys do on the Tiger on the big stage with Tiger. Because the one key when Tiger is playing is the roars. Especially if he makes a cut and makes it to the weekend. Those roars from Tiger's crowd affect other players. They've said it before, and it will continue until he's done. But so look for that and look to see how it affects if he's not on top of the leaderboard, if those roars do affect the leaders, because they know if Tiger's in contention come Sunday and those roars start happening even bigger, there's going to be some guys dropping. There's going to be some shots missed. It makes all the pressure in the world. No Tigers coming. So looking forward to that. Hope you will too. It's always a beautiful course at Augusta. One that's on my bucket list to get to. I know a few of our listeners and good friends of mine like Ryan Martin and him and his father Bud have been to the Masters, and Scott Fahey and some of our friends have been there. So that's one on my bucket list to get to, but hopefully we can someday. So enjoy the Masters this week. And as I said, TV coverage Saturday or Thursday and Friday on ESPN, Saturday and Sunday on CBS. Tomorrow also starts opening day of Major League Baseball after the lockout all year long. I know some fans have been soured on it. I am not. I'm excited for Major League Baseball to get back started. I'm actually excited to see what's going on in St. Louis. I know for you those who know me, as you can see behind me, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, die hard. But I enjoy and respect what's going on in St. Louis. I think the Cardinals front office made the right move in bringing Mr. Albert Pujols back to St. Louis for a final swan song, if you will. I think it was the right move to have him, Adam Wainwright, and Yadier Molina kind of go out in the same year and make it a final farewell, last dance, whatever you want to call it. So it's exciting to see that. Albert will start, as announced, I believe, on Tuesday, that he will start today for the 22nd year in a row in the opening day starting lineup. So kudos to him. Albert's had a great career, one of the greatest players we will ever see play, and for the longevity as well. I still wished he would have stayed in St. Louis the entire time. I think he could have done big things, but now he's back, and for a one-year deal, he'll DH and probably play a little bit of the field, but not a whole lot when you got Gold Glove and All-Star Paul Goldschmidt at first. But let's talk about the Cardinals a little bit. Let's do that. Cardinals didn't make a whole lot of moves over the offseason. They start today, 3:15 against the Pirates. There's a whole list of festivities and hoopla going on opening day, as the Clydesdales will be out. They'll introduce the Hall of Famers. And what St. Louis does every single opening day, that they haven't been able to do it for the last couple of years. So I know Cardinal fans are excited to see that. The lineup, offensively, the Cardinals are good. Probably the best offensive team in the National League Central. And you heard it here. I will say it as a Cup fan, best offensive team. When you look at that outfield with Bader and O'Neill and Carlson in the outfield, and then you've got the infield, which not many holes at all. When you got Arenado in one corner, Goldschmidt on the other side, and Tommy Edman, who didn't have a great spring. I think he was 0 for 14, but it's spring. As long as he can bounce back and come back and play like he did, I think Tommy Edman will be fine. And then at shortstop, that's my one concern for the Cardinals. I really thought they'd address that in the offseason and didn't. So we'll see what they come up with and see if De Jesus or I can't think of his name. But, yeah, see if he'll be back and do anything good as well. Behind the plate, you got Yachty. You're safe there. And then the pitching staff is my one concern for the Cardinals. They did sign Steven Matz in the offseason, the middle rotation lefty. But the depth of their pitching and their bullpen may be what hinders them in 2022. It really could. I mean, you look at Waino, and Flaherty's already on the injured list. You've got Matz there in the rotation as well. The back of the bullpen, Reyes is on the injured list already as well. So health and depth will be superlative for the Cardinals' success in 2022 as they start today against the Pirates, who it could be a very, very long year for the Pirates. But, hey, I want to give a shout-out to a new Pirates hitting coach and good friend, Andy Haynes. Congratulations on the new gig there. He's got his work cut out for him and Derek Shelton in Pittsburgh. But excited to see if they can grow and rebuild and quit trading away good players. Mercy. But let's talk about the other team in the Central that, speaking of trading players, got rid of everybody last year. That's the Chicago Cubs, my Cubs, and I'm excited for the Cubbies, what they're doing with the ball club. They didn't do a whole lot in the offseason. They signed Stroman, Wade Miley. They came new addition there, as wrong with Drew Smiley. Miley and Smiley, yes, yeah. To the rotation to back up Kyle Hendricks. I think that'll help solidify a good rotation. The bullpen is a piece together, work in progress. Offensively, you got Jason Hayward, who couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper sack. You've got some guys who are unproven. Frank Schwindel, is definitely had a great second half, but can he continue it? You've got guys in the outfield. Clint Frazier, they signed a 1-year deal. A guy who has had concussions and is just not proven. They did sign Anderson Simmons, but he's already on the injured list. But you have Nick Madrigal and Nico Horner, who I think could be steady and solid up the middle, and then Patrick Wisdom at third. But behind the plate is a big question, and that's Wilson Contreras. How long will Wilson Contreras be a Chicago Cub? I hope we sign him to an extension because I like Contreras, what he does, offensively and defensively. But I think if you want to rebuild the system, it could be a thing where we see Wilson Contreras dealt before the trade deadline or at the trade deadline this year because he is a free agent after 2022. The other thing for the Cubs, man, they're a 500 team at best. Let's be honest. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Cubs are a division winner and going to win 80 games. Well, if they get lucky, maybe. But I don't think so. I think they're, they'll win 80 games. They're a 500 team. But they won't win 90. They won't win the division. Let's be honest. I think the Brewers are the face of this division still, with the pitching they have and the offense that they have. But if the Cubs reach a 500, I'm happy with that. I think that this team, that's a pretty good accomplishment. But you also could see some move. A lot of guys on 1-year deals. So next offseason is going to be another round of free agent signings and filling holes and filling gaps. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cubs do here as well. They open up today, 1:20, of course. Always a day game at 1:20 at Wrigley Field against the Brewers. So the Brew Crew comes into town to start the season, and we'll see what that brings because it's going to be a little chilly. They said, hey, there's plenty of tickets available for opening day at Wrigley, by the way. You can go to StubHub and get them for about $15. I'll tell you why. Cubs fans, we aren't the smartest people in the world, but we aren't stupid either. Nobody wants to sit out in 35, 40-degree weather to watch a baseball game. It's just fact. A lot of games have been postponed already as well for today. Yankees, Red Sox, Twins, and Tigers postponed because of inclement weather. So keep that in mind as well. It's just going to be another long year on the north side. It's going to be a year of ups and downs, but hopefully, we get a few surprises in there. I'm surprised they haven't released Jason Hayward yet and just ate his contract, his money. I'm just not sure what Jay Hay brings to the table. I know what he did in his career and what he did in 2016 for Cub fans, but, sometimes you have to cut loose that dead weight. And don't get me wrong, Jason Hayward is dead weight anymore. So let's move on here to the NFL. I'm not going to keep you long today with a sports report, but hey, we got things to talk about. It's the NFL. The draft is going to come to Detroit. Can you believe that? Nobody ever wants to visit Detroit, ever. Who wants to visit Detroit? Apparently, Javi Baez did though, because he got a lot of money to come to Detroit. But the draft is coming to Detroit in 2024, and surprised at that myself. But it's a big revenue for the city. It's a big revenue for the team, and they're gonna host it in Detroit, 2024. Of course, Las Vegas holds it this year, and that's coming up on April 28th. Starts Thursday, April 28th at 7 p.m. on ESPN and the NFL Network. 2023 is in Kansas City. Now that could be a good time. If you haven't been to Kansas City for either a Royals game or a Chiefs game, it is a fantastic spot to see a ball game. Both stadiums are side by side. They share a huge parking lot, but you're talking about great food in Kansas City. You're talking about a great atmosphere, and I think it'll be fun to see the draft there in 2023. So that's next year, next April. And then to 2024, as we said, it's in Detroit. Let's hope no one gets shot. Other moves and other news, Aaron Donald said he's returning to the Rams despite rumors. Well, of course he is. I know he wants a contract extension or on a bigger contract, which he deserves, but hey, you're under contract. Come play. My favorite news of the offseason so far, though. I'm going to tell you in the NFL my favorite news in the offseason. Kevin Burkhardt is going to replace Joe Buck. And for many of you, you're throwing up your hands in the air and saying, thank goodness, because Joe Buck is awful. No one can stand Joe Buck. Joe Buck is going to do Monday Night Football with Troy Aikman on ESPN now. So Burkhardt will take over the number one play-by-play team, which is exciting me. I like Kevin Burkhardt. He did a lot of Bears games early in his career. And, of course, I'm a Bears fan, so I watch Bears, and I know a lot of you are too. I think he does a great job. I think he's very even keel as far as being fair and to both teams who's calling. So I think Burkhardt will do a great job. By the way, Joe Buck's deal with ESPN, it reported 5 years between $60 and $75 million. That's about $60 to $75 million too much. Not a big Joe Buck fan, if you can't tell. He's not his father, never will be his father. His father was one of the greatest of all time. Joe Buck is not. He's just Joe Buck. Other things happening around the NFL as far as other news. For those of you who have NFL Sunday Ticket, it will end after this season. NFL did not re-up with DirecTV and AT&T to keep that going. So next season, what they're looking at doing is doing a streaming service. Well, why not? Because everybody else is doing it. Might as well get on the bandwagon, NFL No Fun League. But that's something that's in developing stages of. I think it's a great idea. I think if the NFL puts a streaming service out where you can watch all the games at the same time and pay one fee, I'm up for it. Lets me stream whatever game I want, go back and forth. I think that would be something that would be awesome to have. And because I don't want to subscribe to DirecTV because I don't have cable. I don't. I have YouTube TV, and I love it. So I know a lot of you do the same thing. You either have Hulu or whatever, but you don't have cable anymore because cable costs too much. And it does. And I want to watch what I want to watch. So, excuse me. DirecTV, no more after 2022, so enjoy your final season of NFL Sunday Ticket. I'm sure the Red Zone will probably stick around, maybe. I'm not sure what that will either. But NFL working on a streaming service. Other things in that, the Saints, a lot of news with the Saints. They signed Andy Dalton. They said Taysom Hill is going to tight end. They signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year deal. What are you thinking? Well, this ain't Sean Payton's Saints, ladies and gentlemen, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn out and what they do in the draft coming up in the end of April here on the 28th. Bears news, not a whole lot of news from the Bears. Justin Fields has got a second year coming up, and it'll be interesting to see what the Chicago Bears do, too. What's your thoughts on that? I want to know that. Go to our Facebook group, Clubhouse Lounge Radio Facebook group, and let us know what you think, or just comment on the video below what you think the Bears will do in the NFL draft. Other news in the NBA, which I really don't care about and won't talk about much, but the Lakers are out. The Suns knocked them out of the playoff contention, so LeBron and AD and Westbrook and that trio, and they're out, thank goodness. The NBA is awful, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a fan of the NBA, and I'm sorry if you are. It's not basketball. They don't call traveling. They don't call anything. They just run around and dunk the ball. I mean, that's why I love college sports. I don't like the NBA because you don't get any defense whatsoever. And when you do play defense, it's only because it's a tight game. Somebody wants to win because you make more money. One team I have enjoyed watching a little bit, and I have watched a little bit of it this year, are the Bulls, and that's because of Io. Seeing what Io could do. And Io and the Bulls, I love what he's done. I've said it all along. I thought he would be a great NBA player. I didn't think, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't think he was a great college player. I thought he was good, above average. But he's turned into a great NBA player, and I'm proud of him, and so awesome to watch the Bulls and see them actually be relevant for once and sell out the United Center. So, other than that, WrestleMania last weekend, enjoyed watching that. If you're a wrestling fan, make sure you tune in to Jump the Rail podcast every other Tuesday night. You can go to chlradio.com to listen in on that. Of course, we will be starting a weekend wake-up coming up in a couple weeks. So your morning show on Fridays, which will include local news from all over the area. So we're talking Decatur to Danville, Rantoul to I-64 or I-70 South down to Effingham, around that area. All that news is going to be there. You're going to get sports. You're going to get entertainment news. You're going to get to know which band's playing at what bar, who's got the drink specials. You're going to find all that out on the weekend wake up. Plus you get the weekend drinking weather. The drinking weekend weather from a great news source that I have who will be doing the weekend weather. And if you can I tell you what, if you can figure out who does the drinking weekend weather, kudos to you. But then we'll have great local music from talents like Joe Stam Band, Zach Tompkins, Leighton Ewers, guys like you hear on the station all the time. You will hear that right on the weekend weather or the weekend wake up to get you ready for your Friday. So, in saying that, I hope we got you all caught up on your sports. I hope you are ready for a great spring and a great summer. Don't forget you can get your summer Clubhouse Lounge Radio t-shirts, $20. They're the orange ones. Just go join our Facebook group. You can see those. I will be out on the Back Roads and Barstools tour this Saturday afternoon and evening. I will be in Bargenta. We will be at Full House Craft Beer and Gaming. We'll be at Snappers in Clinton. And we'll be at Breakers 3 in Farmer City. If you would like a t-shirt and you're in that area, $20, come see me. I'll have the box up with me. And also, the one big thing we're going to start doing, make sure you pay attention. If you don't have a beer koozie yet, make sure you see me to get one if you're out and about or want one. We're going to start a beer koozie tour. That's right. I want to know where you drink. I want to know where the koozie's been, whether it's a golf course, whether it's a bar, venue, wherever, vacation. Let's make it go around the world and see where it happens. So, for your Clubhouse Lounge Radio Sports Report, I hope you all have a great Thursday. Enjoy the Masters. Enjoy opening weekend of Major League Baseball. And let's keep our eye on the NFL draft and everything else that's going on in sports. Have a great day, everybody. We will talk to you soon. I am Keith Gibson. Make sure you tune in to Clubhouse Lounge Radio and CHLradio.com.